our segment which comes from, for Tirupati is from Chennai and Bangalore, most of the segment. So Chennai, they have 6 hotels in Chennai, and they have 6 hotels in Bangalore, and they have 6 hotels in Hyderabad. So which, when they are able to generate very marginal amount also for the rooms, it becomes a successful. These are the basic reasons which we are taking up the new 5-star hotel in Tirupati.
Thank you. I think all the speakers have given their perspective. Now, going forward, let me put the banker's perspective, because I am a banker. So let me put the banker's perspective, which might be of some concern to all of you. My first suggestion or what advice to all of you is, analyze what is the market available in the location which you want to set up the hotel. Don't go overboard. Most of the people who have gone overboard have suffered. The foreign tourist traffic in this country is growing at a weighted average rate of 5 to 6% for the last 7-8 years. The hotels in India do not run on foreign clientele. It is the domestic market which is enabling hoteliers to survive in this country for the last 5 odd years. If I am correct, from 2008 onwards, it's only the domestic tourist market or commercial market which is helping the industry to survive. So, based on the market, you come and decide what type of hotel you want to do, whether you want to do a mid-market hotel, you want to do a budget hotel, you want to do an economy hotel, or you want to do a superior hotel. Then comes the cost, and before the cost comes the location, because locational cost or the land cost varies from place to place. It may be expensive at certain place and slightly cheaper. So you decide where you should locate your project. If you want to do in a very costly location, then you do the hotel in such a fashion that you can have more revenue generating areas in the hotel. There I want to say you cut on sizes of your non-revenue generating areas and have more revenue generating areas in the hotel. Based on the market, see, it is not necessary to have a 50 square meter of room. You can easily do a room in 30 odd square meter, 28 odd square meter. Why should you do a room in 50 square meter when the market is only going to give you 5,000 rupees a year? And so these are the various things which you have to do. If you look at the cost, land, your building cost, your plant and machinery, equipment cost, and your furnishing cost. And then the most important, which most of the people do not put up while estimation in the cost, is the pre-operative element of cost, which is interest during implementation, your approval cost, and also your launch cost. What we have seen, most of the entrepreneurs who come up, or even the established hoteliers who go and set up the industry, are not able to understand that it takes much longer in India to set up a hotel. You can do a hotel abroad in 18 months, but in India it may take you 36 months, even 48 months to do hotels, because certain approvals, certain permissions which come from government authorities, other authorities do take their own sweet time to come. Even if you complete the hotel, it may take you 6 months to open the hotel, because some licenses are not coming for some reason or the other. If you see in Delhi, even JW Marriott, Lemon Tree Hotel, still 50% of their inventory is yet to open, because they require security clearances. So this is a cost involved. So you cannot cut the building cost, you cannot cut the land cost, but you can definitely have savings on the furnishing, finishing cost of the hotel. And if you are going to operate in a market which is 2,000, 3,000, 3,000, 4,000, please do a hotel at cost per room of 30 to 40 lakh rupees. Don't go overboard and do a hotel at 1 crore rupees per room. If you do that, then please invest from your money. Don't approach banks to lend you. And if you approach bankers to lend you, definitely they do lending with a debt equity of 60-40, which means 1.5:1. Some bankers go up to 2:1. But right now, with the level of stress in this industry, most of the bankers are hesitant to go beyond 1:1, that is 50% debt, 50% equity. So this is what is available in the market in terms of debt. I don't think many private equity players are happy in putting money here because the return is not happening. There's no exit route for private equity players in this sector. Exit route will only come if you have a large chain of hotels as developer. And for any private equity player, if he wants to put in money, he won't go for an owner-driven hotel. It has to be a chain-driven hotel because he will go only with the operator standards and operator's reach in the market. Ultimately, if you want to do 10 hotels, the distribution becomes very important. And for that distribution, a owner cannot do that type of distribution which is required right now and which is going to happen with all that electronic distribution happening. I think, and the global reach which is required, you either require a established Indian hotel chain or you require an international hotel chain to manage your hotels efficiently. The third thing which I want to tell most of the people, when they estimate the profitability, they think this hotel industry gives a gross operating profit of 45 to 50%. It is nowhere in the industry. I have been assessing this industry for the past 20 years. It used to be 40%, but right now it is between 25% to 30%. And there are two major reasons for that. One is the energy cost, and second is the manpower cost. So to be efficient, all those people who want to put in money, to be efficient, you have to go more on technology-based operations where you reduce your manpower cost. You cannot have 2 to 1, the ratio, room to manpower ratio of 2 employees per room. It has to come down to 1 employee for every 2 rooms. It has to come in that order to be sustaining in future. Secondly, you have to eliminate wasteful lighting in the hotel. You have to move to LED lighting, you have to move to specific lighting, and you should have controls which are required to have. I think these are my suggestions. And let me tell you, Mr. Srinivasan is successful because he never borrowed more. He set up hotels only at those locations where his cost of development was low. That is his model for successful. And I think whenever he borrowed at a very low debt equity ratio. Mr. Reddy is also saying that he is debt free. So you can understand they are successful because they don't have debt. Residency Group again has a very low debt involved in their operations, and Mr. Giri, he has taken a debt, but slowly he is also moving into private equity, all those things, and trying to reduce his debt. So ultimately, this industry is for large-hearted people who can absorb the shocks which come with this industry. And my humble request to everybody is that you should put up a hotel based on the market available. Don't go for fancy things in your hotel if the location doesn't want those things. Because if you are setting up a hotel in a very small location where there's a good market for 1,015 rupees, why should you have a 5-star hotel there? There's no requirement for a 5-star hotel. Do a good standard budget hotel there, which will give you return on investment enough for you to generate funds for expanding in this sector. Right? So slightly keep the hotel business as any other manufacturing or other business. Don't keep it close to your heart. This is not your wife. This is ultimately business. That is what I want to tell you. And I leave the house open now for questions to all of us on any issues which you want to cover. Any questions?
Of course, yeah. Sir, my question is to you. In the previous session, we were talking about branding. Now, how efficient is it when I come to borrowing? Like, does it really add value to us? If I'm starting a project and I say I work with the Taj Group, or Sarovar is going to manage for me, or Radisson is going to manage for me, does it make a difference when you're going to lend to us? Does it give me extra bonus points or something like that?
There's no bonus points in lending.
Do you reduce your percentage, I mean? From 13% you come to 10% borrowings or anything like that?
There's nothing like that. See, ultimately, the project which you are setting up has its own market. Suppose you are setting up a project in a very distant or a location which is exclusive to anybody and has its own market. We don't require any tie-up. But suppose you are going to put up a project in Hyderabad, and where there's a competition from various segments of hotels, then we definitely would prefer a hotel which has a tie-up with any chain to have a better reach and better distribution. So definitely that will attract us to lend. Ultimately, a banker is putting his money to get back his money with a return. So that project will definitely be placed at a higher level than one which doesn't have a tie-up.
Thank you.
I would like to add to it, Hari. Say, I'll put it this way. If I'm going to, say, Hong Kong or Cairo or London on a vacation, when I look into the internet, I wouldn't look for a rather reason to go and stay, or a Vinayaga hotel that you want to go and stay. I would look for something like a Sheraton or a Novotel or a brand, because the security it offers, I feel, I know the hotel. But most places in India right now, this is my impression at least, most places in India, you don't have that many tourists coming. They are coming, just now a lot of people are moving in, foreigners, but not that many. If you're setting up a hotel in Chennai, for example, you can ask Natarajan, he'll tell you, most of his business happens to be coming from the same area. The source is the same city. He can have, half a dozen representatives going and touching the, knocking on the company's doors to get the business inside. So you don't have to have an international chain and pay them through your nose like $7 or $10 per room to get the business inside. For his resort he needs in Mahabalipuram. But for his hotel in Tinagar he doesn't need. Because it's all the companies in that area that are going to give him business. It's not foreigners who come and stay in his hotel every day from so many places. If I'm going to Cairo on a visit, yes, I look for one of the Intercontinental, one of those hotels. I'm staying for 2 nights. I come back immediately. Over here, it's all rate contracts that I do with the local company like L&T or HP. They are all located next to each other. Even when a foreigner comes, he comes on repeat visits. So the first time he may stay in a Hilton. Next time his company is going to tell him, sir, there's a much better hotel next door. No, forget Hilton. We know the place very well. We are having an office here in Chennai. So listen to us. Come and stay here. We'll save so much more for the company. And they do that. Everybody wants to save money. So today they will come to you. You know that a brand. If it is a hotel that's built, in a place like, smaller place like where you are building, or Tirupati, for example. That's how I look at it. Anup is right in a way, there's a lot of competition, international chain does add value, but it's debatable.
I'd just like to add something from the leisure perspective. I think a lot of customers now, a lot of the new age customers now are not just looking for international chains. They bank a lot on social media presence in terms of how it is represented. I'd like to give you an example. When I went to Singapore, most of my friends chose to stay at the Four Seasons, Stamford, or the Raffles, etc. But I chose to stay at the Fullerton Marina Bay Sands. It's possibly not, it is a 5-star hotel, but it's not your high-end 5-star international chain. But the services, the quality of rooms, the experience itself, the service itself is different. You take the south of France, I stayed in a small resort called Villa Aizé in the village, and that experience was probably much better than staying at the Martinez, which is owned and managed by the Hyatt. So it's not that the Hyatt is a bad brand, but it's just that I think new age customers are looking for different kind of experiences, different kind of rooms. You don't need to go out and offer cookie cutter sort of experiences. You can go out, create experiences. Best examples for us who are close by, Orange County, Coorg. They built a destination As an industry, I think we also have the responsibility of building destinations in this country. I mean, when we went to Wayanad, I know the occupancy levels in the ARRs that were being achieved. Today, we see the occupancy levels in the ARRs have gone through the roof. You take Mysore, when we set up Windflower Mysore, everybody said if you get 2.5 grand, you should be very happy. But I mean, we're doing in excess of 4-7 right now, and we're very happy with what we're doing. So I think it's the experience, the quality of room, the quality of service. It is not about trying to show, like Lincoln said, it's not about trying to show what you know about hospitality, but trying to show that you actually care about the customer and deeply care about the customer. That, I think, will make a huge difference in how we operate our hotels.
Tarun, thanks. Actually, I was about to call you. I was about to ask you the same question.
Yeah, okay.
We're all talking about branding.
Yeah.
You are into leisure market.
Yes.
And Natarajan sir earlier was saying he went with Radisson because of certain reasons that it helped him.
Yeah.
So you are actually in the leisure segment. I wanted to ask you the same question, but you answered it for me.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you so much.
To add to it,
70% of hotels in Europe are not branded, huh? Remember, all family run.
Oh, thanks.
to add to it, when you go to the financial institution, if you have a franchisee, they even doesn't look at your financials. They say, yes, Taj has worked out well, there is fine. So he just takes whatever it is there, they take this for granted. Apart from that, even if you go for permissions like, you have a franchisee, okay fine, they have set up the standards, it will be taken care of it. So it only adds up to this, but never for the rate of interest.
Mr. Bali, the question is to you. We are all talking about profitability, and you rightly said once upon a time it was 40%. But having achieved that amount, most of the owners who are present here are stuck with that figure. They don't have a calibration below that. Now really, because we are all from this region, we have not crossed the Vindhyas to know what is the percentage on the other side. Since you have an all-India perspective, could you tell us, in the current scenario with the increased cost of labor, and raw material and power, what is the reasonable GOP of a luxury hotel, mid-segment hotel and a budget hotel? If it can be revealed.
I think it's a very difficult question which you have posed me. If you want to know the correct answer as of today, luxury segment in this country is having negative GOP. This is what I'm telling, because luxury segment is not getting the rates which it should command today. They are selling at 8,000 rupees. So at 8,000 rupees, how do you expect them to generate a gross operating profit? But on all India perspective, the GOP of a what we call 3 to 4 star category, because in this country the categorization is also a problem, is overlapping. So you don't know whether it's a 3-star hotel or it's a 5-star hotel. So when they say mid-market, it means 3 to 4 star category hotel is doing a all India level doing a gross operating profit of somewhere around 30-32%. And the budget hotels, which are primarily room-driven hotels, are achieving somewhere around 38 to 40% gross operating profit, and luxury definitely less than 30%. So this is what is happening today. I think most of the hoteliers have to change. I may sound slightly rude, but we cannot afford this type of manpower and electricity wastage in the hotel industry. That energy cost has to be curtailed and manpower has to be reduced. Such luxuries this country cannot afford at $80 per rupees a room rate. So if you are having a $250 room rate, you can afford. But if you are getting an $80 rate, you should not. And that is where this is my understanding of the sector. Thank you. I couldn't get it. Mike.
I just wanted to know what is the debt-equity ratio suggested by TFC for a mid-market hotel of say 80 to 100 rooms.
Best debt, it will be less than 1:1, but 1:1 is good enough in the present scenario. 50% debt, 50% promoters. So the operating margins are shrinking, whereas interest rates have not come down. If the interest rates have come down, then definitely more debt can be absorbed by the hotelier.
My question to Mr. Srinivasan, please. Yes, thank you for sharing your inputs, valuable inputs. You, during your presentation, said that you get the best rates from your bankers. I'm not going to ask you a private question by asking you what is your best rate, because we know that your volumes are big. But I just want your suggestion to know beyond what rate of interest we should not borrow. Please tell us